doesn't, a screen should pop up showing maybe different sizes. Then by the side you're going to see the size that you can, your custom size where you can size your document, and at the top you're going to see maybe something like saved, illustration, films and video and stuff like that. So just select films and video, then you can have different sizes. So if you are creating a design for a social media flyer, maybe for WhatsApp or for, let's say, for Instagram also, and they request you for it, they're requesting for a square pixel, maybe just the same length, the same breadth, maybe square. You can use 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels. But since we are making a video now, like we are trying to make a video, something of maybe landscape. So let's just stick to the size 1920 by 1080. Your resolution should be 72. Your color mode should be RGB color mode. The background content, let's use white. Like white is cool. You can use white. So okay. Please, are you guys with me? Please let's respond on WhatsApp if you are with me. Are you guys with me? Please let's just try to respond on WhatsApp if you guys are with me, please. Alright, thank you. So this is our new page now. So I won't I don't think I have to go back to introducing people to how Photoshop works. I think I did that in the video I sent to you not long ago. So people are still having issues with the audio and stuff. Does it have theme? Yeah, just size it to, if it doesn't have theme, just use the 1920 by 1080 72. Just do your custom size there, it's fine. You can input the size there yourself if it doesn't have theme. So this is the Photoshop interface. By the left side we have the tools, by the right side we have our layer options and some other things I'll be needing. So I would like us to if you go to Windows here, there's workspace. This workspace we have essential, we have photography, we have painting, we have motion graphics, we have graphic design. I've done some settings on my own design, so it may not look like yours. But I'd like all of us to select essential so we can have the same thing on our screen. Essential, so we can have the same thing on our screen. Photoshop works with layers. I think we all know this. I said that in the video I sent to the link. So any element you have on your screen here will form a layer. We create a new layer for you here. We'll still get there. We'll find out. So today was supposed to be for the introductory parts of the training, but I won't be doing that anymore because I've done that in the training. So what we'll do is that today we'll talk about how to animate elements, animation of different elements, maybe text, shapes, images, and stuff like that. And tomorrow we'll talk about how to use this element, combine these elements to make a design. Then next tomorrow we are going to next tomorrow we are going to talk about how to I'll give you an assignment to do, then you work on it so that you can make certificate. So we're about to start. Working with Photoshop as a motion graphic artist, what you need is your timeline. Your timeline work along with any element you want to. It determines what appears on your video. So the first thing you do here is that you go to Windows, then you select timeline. Select timeline. So this is what you will see when you select timeline. So there are different type of timeline here. There's one that can create just frame animations, maybe just frame to frame, and there's one for video timeline. So you can use that one to create motion graphics. We can as well convert your frame animation into this frame animation are more like GIF. Do you understand? Just maybe it's quite basic. There are limitations to what you can do on frame animation. David, the page size is 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels. Your resolution is 72 and your color mode is RGB. Your background is white, just like we have it here. Are you with me? Please let's just say yes on the group chat if you are with me on WhatsApp. If you are following, please, in case you have any question or something is missing, please let me know. Alright, thank you very much. I'm not on Zoom at the moment, so I just hope everyone is online. So you create timeline, you create video timeline. So when you create your video timeline, you'll be able to see, come on, yeah, fine. So this is the video timeline here, the one you can see under. Now, This is the timeline. This one is for if you want to go back to the first frame. This determines your frame. This tiny red line determines your frame. This one is to go back to the first frame. This one is to go back to the next frame. This one is to play your animation. This one is for you to maybe mute your audio or not. So this one is for playback. If I'm too fast, please let me know. This one is for playback. That means your screen resolution. So it just depends. Maybe when you play your video, if you want it to be sharp while it's playing on your Photoshop, not after you save. So I do reduce mine so that my Photoshop won't hang. Do you understand? So there won't be anything like maybe my Photoshop is hanging or seizing while I'm trying, because motion graphics consumes space. It consumes system space while doing motion graphics on Photoshop. So I do use 25. Please, no one is responding. If there is something, maybe just let me know. Chat. Yeah, too fast. What is that? Blinking noise isn't coming up. Can't see the timeline. I feel it's if my voice is faster than my mouse, I think it's network. I feel it's your network. Please, it's your network. If you think my voice is faster than my mouse, it's your network. It's your network, please. I'm recording my screen as I'm doing this training, so the video is going to be available for everyone after the class. So I'm going to be calm. All right. You don't need to have measurements log on your timeline. Can you create video timeline? If you can create video timeline, then we are cool. Yes, Oloriebi, it's not bringing. Click on create video timeline. Click on that create video timeline. What version of Photoshop do you use, Mariam? I told you Photoshop CC. And I sent a video to you. As regard for non-designers. I was expecting that you will have at least use your Photoshop and check this thing out and get back to me as soon as you can. No, the video will be available. I'll get back to it because you can't actually go back from here now. So as I was saying, we have our video timeline here. Here's the timeline. So here you can set, like, I think I stopped here. You can set your playback option here. Then here you can split. We still do everything. This is for transition effects. These are just custom transition effects here. Fade in, fade out, the duration. And then this is for audio track. Then here is where you can convert your video timeline into frame animation. Here is where you can render your video if you don't want to be going to file, render option. Then this one determines your time. Now here you can extend your timeline here. No, this is our timeline. I can extend it here. Am I getting test on Zoom? I don't think so. Am I? No. Alright, no. So let's proceed. So here you can extend this. You see, I'm trying to extend it. You can just drag it and extend it to see your time. You can realize that this single timeline is 5 seconds. Everything here is 5 seconds, like 5 seconds. This is second 1, second 2, second 3, second 4. I'm trying to be slow so everyone can get what I'm trying to do. Now, if you are moving this timeline, no, the class is not closed. You can still register. I'm not closing the class since we have people on camp. It's not closed. So realize that as I'm moving this, your time here is changing. So if I move this to 1, I'm going to see 1 second. 1 second, sorry. English is hard. If I move this to 2, you see 2 seconds. If I move this to 3, you see 3 seconds. So this one determines how fast or how slow your animation is going to be. Do you understand? So everything here is 5 seconds. Imagine setting your time, your keyframe to 5 seconds. It's going to be quite slow. So now let's start animating. If you want to zoom in to non-designers, remember Ctrl+. If If you want to zoom out, control minus. If you want to fit to screen, control 0. Do you understand? Now, anything on Photoshop creates a new layer. If I'm to input a text here now, it will create a new layer here. So I'll be able to like work on it here. Now today we'll start with text animation first. How to animate your text. We'll start with text animation, how to animate your text. And this is the text tool. Now I'll click on a text. I'm going to start with, let me use my name, Mohammed. Muhammed, Mohammed. I can click here. I can adjust my font setting here. Let's say character. I can still expand or adjust normal, but just for the sake of non-designers, I can expand my font size to maybe 36. Small. Let's say 72. My font color. My font color. This font sucks. Let's use maybe a bold font. Why isn't a bold font? If you have any question, please ask on WhatsApp. If you have any question, ask me on WhatsApp, please. Alright, thank you very much. So now let's try to use a bold font. I use maybe, let's say I'll use popping or something. Popping, let's say bold font. So we'll start with text animation. We'll start with the different type of animation you can do with text. Like different forms of animation that you can do around text or something. And this is my text. And the first thing I'm going to do is that realize that after inputting my text, it creates a new timeline. Yes, it creates its own timeline here at the bottom here. Realize that it's a new layer here, create its own timeline at the bottom here. Now I can expose the timeline functions by clicking here, this arrow here, this one. Can you see? Now let me show you something. I can drag, you can just come here, then drag it to the front. Can you see, like I just move my text forward a bit. Realize that now this is the timeline. Sorry. And this is the timeline. Like whatever they call it. Should I give it my own name? Okay, I'll give it maybe timeline stick or whatever. No problem. Sorry. So realize that where this thing is, my font is not there, so it won't show. And if I'm to play, when it gets where my font is, it's going to show. That's how it works. Do you understand? So this one, you can use this one determines how your font shows on your design, or maybe any element you have on your design shows. I don't know if you understand me. This is very, very hard. But please just understand. If you don't understand, please, I'm on the group chat. Please. So your timeline buttons are not coming up. How? I don't understand. Please send a picture to the group. Let me see. Can you still hear me? Please check your audio if you can't hear me. If everyone can hear me and you can't hear me, please just try to check your audio, please. Why are they not coming up? Dami, can you keep up now? I'm trying to respond to chat on Zoom, please. Alright, fine. So this is just Dami, what's up? I'm waiting for your response, please. Well, I've loved everyone to be able to keep up with what we are doing here so you can understand. And do you understand this? Now this timeline stick determines what you'll be able to see on your screen. Do you understand? Now if I'm to, like, let's say just move my background forward a bit. Let's say this background forward a bit. You realize that I can't see the background until I move the timeline stick to where the background is. Like maybe play, then it's moving to where the background is. Do you understand now? I can just click here to just go back. I can drag this one to make it go back to wherever I want it to go to. Do you understand? Now this is Mohammed. I want to animate Mohammed. Let's talk about transformation first. This is transformation. Transformation can have to do with maybe movement, expansion, reduction, movement generally. Now let's say I want to expand Mohammed. Now I can just, like, I'll click on this transform first. You can see this thing that looks like clock, the keyframe here. I can just click on the keyframe here, just click on the keyframe. You see, once I click on the keyframe, it shows this yellow button here. That's like our key or something, whatever they call it. Now I want Mohammed to expand within the range of 1 second. Do you understand? I want my name to be big within the range of 1 second. So after clicking, let me do it again. Let me Ctrl Z to go back. I can just click here and delete the keyframe. Alright, fine. Now I want Mohammed to expand within the range of 1 second. First thing I'll do is I'm going to click on the timeline here. Then I'll come to 1 second here. Do you see? So I'll come to 1 second, then I'm going to expand Mohammed. I'm expanding Mohammed. Once I'm done expanding Mohammed, I'm going to, like, just click on transform, like enter. Okay. Realize that we have a keyframe here. What I did was, let me go back again to show you so you can understand. I can't keep going back, so this one is just for you to get how this thing works. So please try to pay attention. I want Mohammed to expand within the range of 1 second. So I'll just click on transform here. I'll click on transform as my starting point. Then I'll come to 1 second. Then I won't click on transform once I get to 1 second. I'll just expand Mohammed so as big as I want it to be. Then I'll click on this, or maybe press enter. So to just submit my transformation. Now if I'm to go back to here, then I play, realize that Mohammed is moving. Can you see? It's somehow breaking because of, I think I'm doing a lot of things my system. But basically it's just, that's how it works. Do you understand? Now let's say I want to move Mohammed from, let's say, point A to point B. So what I'll just do is I'll click on this normal transformation, but I want it to be faster, maybe within 0.5 seconds. I'll click on 0.5 seconds, then I'll just move Mohammed. You see, we have a new keyframe here, so I can just go back, then play. Once I play, Mohammed is moving. Do you understand? Alright, that's one thing about transformation. So if you see maybe an animation of maybe a text coming into a background or something moving into a background, that is how it works. Now let's talk about opacity. Opacity means transparency. Do you understand? Let's say I want Mohammed to come in, then fade out. If I want that to happen, I can just come here. Do you see? I can come to select transition and drag to apply. Click here. If I want Mohammed to fade in with, if I want Mohammed to fade in, like, I'll just select the time range of how I want it to fade in. Maybe I want Mohammed to fade in within the range of 1 second or 2 seconds or something. But we have 1 second here, 1 second here. So I'll just drag this one from here. Meaning I'm going to click, then drag it and drop it here. Once I see this black thing showing, I'll just drop my mouse. Are we together, please? Are we together? Are we together? Please reply on WhatsApp if we are together. Reply on WhatsApp if we are together, please. I'm waiting. Alright, great. So now realize that after dropping this transparency, after dropping everything here, you can't see Mohammed anymore. Now if I try to move my timeline stick, realize that Mohammed is fading in. Okay, I expanded the character by coming to, I didn't get out of opacity. Alright, I'll go back again. To Toiba's question, if you want to expand, you can just come here. You see, like, first thing you have to do is you have to make sure you are showing your transformation, your transform control. There are ways to just bring it on too, but just to be precise and straightforward, you show your transform control here. It's showing here. So just come to the edge here. Then if you want to expand, if you are using Photoshop, let's say below Photoshop 2020 or 2018, if you want to expand, you have to use Shift. Well, you have to hold on to Shift and Alt, then come to the edge here and expand symmetrically. But if you are using, let's say, Photoshop 2020 and you want to expand, can you hear me, Toiba? Just hold on to Alt, then come to the edge here, and you can just drag. If you understand, let me know. You can, once you are done expand, you can just press enter to submit your transformation. That is how you expand. But if you want to expand to just one side, you can just come to the edge here, then expand. Then once you are done, just press enter. Do you understand? Now, the opacity. Opacity is just about transformation. There are different ways to apply the effect of opacity on maybe motion graphics. The first one is maybe you want it to just fade in at the first, then fade in at the end too or something. Now, another thing is, okay, let's do this one first. So this is, you come here, Solomon, you come here. You can see different type of fading here, but this fading works for different. This cross fade works with video best. It's also with videos and stuff like that. So you can just fade in normally, like just fade in. You can fade in with color black. You can fade in with color white, and I can fade in with any color of your choice. But this fading will just fade in with transparency. Like once I drag this, no, I'll drag this fading from here, then drag it into at the beginning of, not here, not, you can drag it here, but not at the middle. At the beginning, just drag it here and drop it here. Once you see this black line showing, just drop it there. You'll be able to see this. So you realize that you can't see Mohammed anymore on the screen, even though it's there. Now, if you play, you realize that your transformation is playing. Once you play this, your timeline key, it's playing like Mohammed is fading in. Can you see? Alright, great. Now, do you understand? Please let me know if you understand. Signify yes on the chat if you understand, please, so we can proceed. So you can fade in, you can fade out, you can. Alright, great. So this is just for the, you can reduce your the timeline of any element here. You can just come to the edge here. Do you see? I'm at the edge. You know, it's 5 seconds here. I'm at the edge here. Just come to the edge, then click, then you can just drag it. So you see. So maybe I don't want it to be too much. You can just drag it here. So let's say maybe I want Mohammed, then something else after Mohammed. Maybe just Mohammed to just show for just a second, like just 1 second. I can just drag it to just 1 second. So once I play here, Mohammed fades in, then sorry it's moving like this, it's just, I don't know. Alright, so then after 1 second, once it's done, you won't see Mohammed anymore. Something else will pop in. Do you understand? So that is how it works. Now let me just try to expand Mohammed. Now maybe in case you want to have this another text just like Mohammed, maybe you don't want to like keep writing text or keep typing your text or something, then you want another text like Mohammed to show up. You can just, if you want this one to break at 1 second, you can just come here. You see, this splits as playhead. So you make sure your cursor is on this, like you selected Mohammed, then come to split as playhead. Then just, if you click on this, it will break Mohammed into 2. You see? Now we have 2 Mohammed. We have 2 layers now. More like a copy of Mohammed. Now we have 1, we have 2. Do you understand? I can change this one to Adepoju or something. But before you can apply any effect on it, you have to make sure that your timeline stick is on the layer. Like this one is showing Mohammed, this one is showing Mohammed. So though there are two different layers now. And make sure that your timeline stick is on this Mohammed. So I can just have my test. Sorry. Happens like that most times. So I can have Adepoju. Adepoju. Now we have Mohammed here, and we have Adepoju here. So if I should play Mohammed, I can play Mohammed like I can play to move from Mohammed, then move down to. Sorry, it's moving slow. It's just then it move down to Adepoju. Do you understand? Do you understand now? Let me know if you understand. If you can respond, please respond. And that's that about test and stuff. We are not done yet. Then this one is for fading and fader. Now let's talk about opacity. Now realize that this option, this editing option is for Mohammed. If you want to show the editing option for Adepoju as well, you just have to come here, then click here. Share you see, so you'll be able to see the one or the option for Adepoju too as well here. That means typing. Yes, damn it, I am recording. I'm recording. So, do we understand? Now, if you want to apply any effect or transition on Mohammed, it has to be on Mohammed separately. If you want to apply on Adepoju, it has to be on Adepoju separately. And you can scroll down to check your timeline frame here. See, you can just scroll down to check. Can you see? Now, let's work on another form of opacity with Adepoju. All these things is just to introduce you to how all these things work. So, in case you see animation like transition coming up, it means we are combining different elements together to just make one. And this is opacity. I click on opacity for this one. Here you can set your level of opacity here. That is transparency. So let's say here I can reduce my transparency level. You see, if I'm reducing the transparency level here, it's reducing. Do you see? Can you see? So what I want to do here is just that this is Mohammed. This is Adepoju. I want Adepoju to like, it's like saying I want it to go from this point to this point. It's very, very easy. Okay, I want Mohammed to like fade from 0% of transparency to 50, from 50 back to 0. Let's say from that 0 back to 70 or so. And what I'll do is just I can just try to expand my Adepoju here. So this is what we'll do. We'll start from here. So if you want to start any effect or any transition, you have to click on this one first, like this thing that look like, you know, this clock now that is called Aguelepo, that kind of thing. That you should know the English. Let me start this. English is hard. Sorry. So you click on opacity. It means you want to start. Okay, fine. So click on opacity. It means you want to start something. Now I want it to fade. Once it gets to, let's say, you know, this is 1 second to 2, 1 second, 2 seconds. In between the two, I want it to fade to, let's say, 50%. So I'll just come to opacity here. So I'll just reduce it to 50%. You see, 50%. After doing that, we have a new keyframe here. And from that, I want from here, then I want it to maybe come up to, let's say, let's say 84%. Doing this again, I'm going to have another keyframe. Then like I want it to just end up to, let's say, 0% again. Then I'll come here, then back to 0%. 0%. Now if I'm to play this now, I think my system is skipping because I'm recording, I'm on Zoom, and I'm on Photoshop at the same time. So I'm coming. Please, if you can, if you understand, please just respond on the group chat. What's dragging, please? What's dragging? Creative C. Alright, so let's say we want to play this now, then let's just play. You see how the colors are just maybe once I play. Sorry, the thing is slow, somehow slow like this. I'll just drag it. I'll just drag. I'm coming. So as I was saying, I'll just drag. Once I'm just moving, realize that once it gets to it's fading. Once it gets to this point, realize that it's just try it on your side. It's network. Sorry, it's network. Like if it's dragging, it's network. So let me see once I just play and let me try to keep this one down. After fading, you see how the effect is fading. If you can try it on your own system, you see the effect. It's very slow on my side because I'm doing a lot of things on my system at the moment. And motion graphics on Photoshop consumes space. That's if you are doing a lot of things. So can you see? So once it gets here, it fades in again, and it fades out, then it fades English I beg, sorry, out. Do you understand? Alright, so let's proceed. Now this is I can just, if I want to cancel all this opacity effect and stuff, I can just remove existing keyframe. You can see like everything is just there. Just click on it and remove everything. You won't be able to see anything again. Everything is gone. Let me just my opacity back to 100 and I can see my adeboju. Now let's talk about styles. This is style. We have style here. Style. Photoshop have different styles. If you are new to Photoshop, we have something we call style. They are like effects on Photoshop. There are different styles. If you want to check this style out, you can just come here. This FX here. You can see we have add layer style. Click on FX. This is what I'm talking about. Add layer style. Can you see? Add layer style. Now we have, is it bevel and emboss? I just see it. I don't know how to pronounce it. We have stroke, we have inner shadow, we have inner glow, we have satin, we have color overlay, we have gradient, and a lot of them. Now we are not doing graphic design, we are doing just motion graphics. So I'm going to introduce you to how this thing works. Like I said earlier, it's not about making you a pro in just 3 days. So you have all factors, so you have to just understand. I have such. It's not about making you a pro in 3 days. It's about introducing you to how everything works, and it's left to you to now keep like practicing, playing around this. That is how I actually know all these things. I kept playing around the software. How does this one works? How does this one works? How does this one work? I can't teach you everything in just 3 days. So don't let me down to waste our time. Let's continue. Now we're going to work with style. We work with glow for now. Let's say inner glow, outer glow, stuff like that. Now for that to be visible, I'd like to change this background. Now this is our background here. This is the background. It is white. As you can see, it is white. Now if you are adjusting, please kindly adjust something down if you can. It will be helpful. We have different types of images. We have vector images, we have raster images. Then on Photoshop we have what we call smart object as well. Vector images are like shapes. Raster images are made of pixels. It means they have the tendency of pixelating, more like maybe photos or pictures or stuff like that. Vector on Photoshop can be in form of text or shape, because you can actually convert your text into shape on Photoshop. We'll still get there. Now, if you want to apply color to a raster image on Photoshop, the process can actually be different from how to apply color on a vector image on Photoshop. Now, I'm going to just put us through maybe just a quick one that is very, very explanatory. So, work with style. I want to change this my layer, which is layer 0, which is white, into black. So I'll just come here, FX here. I'll go to color overlay. It's loading, so I can just come here, click on the color here, then let's say black. Okay. I did this so that whatever effect I'm trying to apply on this one is going to be visible. Do you understand? Actually, this color red on this thing doesn't. Let's just change the color of the font, because this red on black looks weird or something. So to do that, I can just come to character here. Character for non-designer. I know people actually know all these things. You know how to do all these things. I used to Photoshop. Color, then I can just maybe let me use a lighter. It's this one. So we are talking about styles here. I want this thing to blink. All these things are very, very applicable when we start joining elements together. So I want this text to glow, like glow in, glow out, glow in, glow out, glow in, glow out. So what I'll do is just I'll just come to style here. You see, I'll come to style. So let's say I want it to glow after 0.5 seconds. So I'll come here, then I'll come to effects. I'll come to, let's say I want to use outer glow. It means I want to create an outer glow, like make it glow from the outside. You can increase this, you can work around this setting. You can increase the size here. The opacity, that's how the transparency, how bold you want it to be. So you see. You can come to this blending, so you see. So noise is maybe if you want it to have grain or not. You can change the color here. Let's say I change this. I want this one to be red. And you can't see that red very well. Let's do this one. Okay. And you can see we have a new key frame here. And if I'm actually here, if I'm here, you won't be able to see anything, because that's the starting point. That is how the layer is on the first keyframe. Do you understand? Now, if I start moving, like start playing and start moving here, once it gets here, see it pops up. Just like saying, at first I want it to be like this. Now create a keyframe to make it look like this. I can then proceed. Let's say come here. Let's say go to click on Adepoju. I can just hide my blending option. Now here is just maybe layer indicator visibility, blah 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 blah. Means if you want to show your layer or hide your layer, you can just do it here. So I can as well hide my effect here. So let's say on this keyframe here, I want to hide my outer glow. Come on, glow. You see, once I click on hide the outer glow, so it's created. English. So you should understand, please. English is tough. Forget the degree. It's creating a new key point here. So let me just move here again, then I can just review my outer glow. So we create a new key point here again, showing the glow. eh, showing the glow. So if I'm to play now, if I'm to play, then it's going to move from here to where it's going from here, then show. Let me. You can play and stop here. So let me just go back and play. Come on. Please, if you are with me, can you let me know, please? So I don't want anyone to get lost or have issues with I don't understand or stuff. Forget the fact that a video is coming out for you, please. I need to just move along with me as well. So say something on WhatsApp, please. So once I play, it's moving, it's moving, it's moving, it's moving, it's moving. Then it's showing my glow, then it's going down again, then revealing the glow. Do you understand? So that's that about style. So when you play around all this style, or when we move on, we know much about other styles and how other styles work. Now let's talk about test swap. This is test swap. Test swap have to do with maybe a test effect, maybe deformity or something. You get there, you see. It's most times it's best to just see it than be talking about it. And let me come now. You come to your test here. You right click. You go to. You come down. You see WAP test. WAP test. I think it should be under type 2 here. Right. Okay, fine. That's fine. And just click on your tests. This is it. It's all these things are applicable because it's a test. All these things may not be functional on shapes. Do you understand? Maybe on shapes or on pictures or so like that. It may not be like applicable when you want to work on shapes. So test, you can come to. I said if you want to send me any message, don't send me message on Zoom. Send message on WhatsApp. Send message on WhatsApp, please. Not Zoom. So you click on your text, as I was saying. Click on your text, come to type. Then you see WAP test. WAP test. And for now it's none. It's still none for now. You can like let's say you want it to be in form of an hack. So let's say you want your test to come in form of an arc into a straight test. You go there. Or maybe let's say upper. There are different type of way you can warp your test. You see, different. But then it's not like we are creating a test warp here. You can create a fish eye. And do you understand? And here's what we want to do. We want our test to come in with this kind of effect. That's the plan. Now realize that at first, like I always start my keyframe at the starting point. Maybe if I want to expand to a big size now, it's going to be small before I click on my keyframe. And then I'm going to drag my timeline stick to where I want it to, like to that time range, then expand it. But now, please just try to pay attention now. After this effect, I'm expecting my text to be like this, to be as straight as this, like to be straight as this. After that effect, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to like start my keyframe where I want the transition to end. Do you understand? I want my text to be as straight as this one. So what I'll do is that, as the one I'm seeing on the screen here, so what I'll do is I'm going to start my transition effect from where it's going to end. So I'll be, let's say, normally I'm supposed to start from here, but I'm starting from here, so that whenever anything or maybe any effect comes in, it's going to like result to this, then continue like that. So I'll click on test warp. So I'll come back to the starting point. Here. So I'll go to my type warp tests. I can click on maybe any. Let me use this fish eye. Let's say fisheye. Hmm? Should show on my screen. You see, okay, fine. It's a fisheye. I can set my effect here. So I want my text to come in like this, like this. Okay. Okay. So if I'm to play now, like let me just play. Try it on your system. You should see what is going to happen. It's not like you are on just Zoom, and so it should be faster on your system than it is on my system. If you are getting what I'm getting, please let me know. If you are getting what I'm getting, kindly let me know, please, so I can know how to proceed. Now let's now say I want to mix, like I want to mix fade in. It's just Mama Bell that is talking. Please, the guys should talk too, please. If you are getting it, please just talk on the group chat. For those that are on the group chat, please just say something, please. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Oh, if you are getting me, just let me know. Alright, great. So let's say I want to like realize that we have a style on this already, though there's no effect on the style. And let's say I want to I want my text. I'm lost from when you hide transformation I. No, it's just we've passed that already, brother. We've passed that. We are on test WAP now. That was for style. Solomon is typing. So now let's now say I want to mix all these effects together. Like I want my text to fade in, then fade in like this. Using same system for the zoom, so I can't practice now. Just noting things down. That class I'll try. Alright, next class is tomorrow, brother. So fade in. Try. Now I can just drag it like we did earlier. Toiba, Hillary, is it? I don't know if I can pronounce your name. My English sucks. Is it Hillary or? Ah, God. Are you getting it? Mariam, are you getting it? Amida, are you getting it? Oh boy. Please get it too. Though the video is going, I'm still recording. The video is going to be, it will know on YouTube, please. What's up? Where's Mr. Abdulaziz, Mr. Damilare, Mr. Israel, Moshood, Mr. Kamal, Mr. Moshood, Mr. Solomon, Mr. Stephen, Mr. Khalid, Mr. IB, Mr. Michael, Mr. Ayomide, Mr. Habib. Please, are we getting this thing? Alright. So now I'm trying to fade in. Now my text is going to fade in with this effect. Don't forget that you can see this thing, just like playing a game. It's very, very easy. You can just come, you see this one is clickable, this one is clickable. You can just drag this one to wherever you want it to be, like let's say like this, or maybe make it close. That depends on how long you want it to be. I can start from here. Here we have Mohammed fading in into our deckboard. Now let me just play. It should be fast. I'm playing, you see. Mohammed fades in, then moving. Then Adepoju fades in like that too. Do you understand? Just as easy as that. Like, let me go back again. Let me just play. Mohammed fades in, like Mohammed fades in. Then Adepoju comes in with that effect. As easy as that. We're actually going to do some complex stuff, but then you should be able to understand this one first. And that is that for test. The other things that we are going to like do once we start trying, that will be tomorrow when we start creating videos that I'll check for videos that I've created before, like complex motion graphics that I've done, or maybe the ones that companies are actually demanding for now. Companies that need motion graphic designers, they are demand like some actually sent me a brief lately on the kind of jobs they want. Maybe then we work on logo animations too. Don't forget, maybe all this then Piggyverse logo animation, how they came up with their logo and all those stuff. We do all that. So, and this is how all these things are going to happen. It's also easy. Do you understand? So from this you can understand how this thing works. So what I'm going to advise is that when you are checking this video out by yourself, try to just convince yourself to do, let's say, 3 things with just one thing that I learned from here. Like try something new, try something out, work around things to see how it's going to happen. Now let's continue. Now let's talk about shape. Do shape. Mr. Michael is typing. So I can delete my Adequate Junior, blah blah. Yes, I'm going to upload the video on Drive immediately after the class. It's left to you. No, it's going to export for a while. It will take time. Maybe after, let's say after 3 hours, the video will be available because it's going to be a bit large. So get your data ready. And I'm talking to myself. I'm thinking out loud. So don't worry. Thinking out loud. Let's proceed, please, to shape. Now this is shape. Sorry, let me go back to shape. And the same thing for font is applicable to shape. This is our shape tool. You can just click on the shape tool. Then you can draw your shape to form a background or anything. This is our shape. This is a rectangular shape. We have different types of shape. We have rectangular shape, we have circular shapes, and all those stuff like that. Now, once you draw a shape, if you are using Photoshop 20, let's say 2014, 15 upward, after drawing a shape, something like this pops up. If you have Photoshop understanding from the past, you should be able to understand this. If you don't, I explain how these stuffs work on the last video that I dropped on the group. So here you can select your shape color. Select your shape color here. You see, let's say this shape color is, let's say, red, or this color, let's say this color. Now, if you are checking this for the shape, you realize that there's nothing like transformation here, if you understand. So you can't just say you want to expand a shape. Let's try it out. Transformation. Let's say position self, like position. Then like this. Let me try to move this shape. It creates something new here, but if I'm trying to, it's not working. Can you see? It's not working. It is not working for shape. So that is how it is for shape. So that is when smart objects comes in. The opacity still works for shape. Style work for shape. Vector masking. Realize that on the video that I sent to you, I talked about masking there, and this is where that masking will come into play. But we'll get there, don't worry. Get there. Vector mask position, vector mask enable, that one is that one is there. We'll still get there. Now that is where smart objects comes in. Anything you have on Photoshop, like any element you have on Photoshop, realize that we should be able to transform this, maybe expand or reduce or stuff. But no, it's not working for shape. I mean, a shape, if it's a picture, it can still work. If it's a picture that I'm actually dropping into Photoshop, it can work. Like I said earlier, we have two types of picture. We have vector, we have raster. Then on Photoshop, we have what we call smart object. Now, I can convert this shape is a vector image. I can convert this shape into a raster image. Then I can just come, you can see this here, this thing that looks like a rectangle here. Once I right click on this one, then I rasterize the picture. I can just it means I'm converting it from vector to raster, like rasterized layer. Then it's no more a shape, it's now more like a picture, like a pixelated picture now, made of pixels. So yeah, I wish you can see me right now. I'm stretching my hand and expanding my body and shifting my body. Oh my God. Now rasterized layer. After rasterizing layer, it's no more a shape anymore. It's now a picture, just a random picture. You realize that this thing have changed. Now we have just position, opacity. Who's testing me? Position, opacity, and just style. Let me Ctrl Z. Ctrl Z. When it was still a shape. Come on, bro. When it was still like in form of shape, you can see what we have. We have position, opacity, style, vector mask position, vector enable and stuff. Now that it's no more a shape, Ctrl Shift Z, it's no more a shape, it's now a layer. We have just position, opacity, and style. Now, just like I did earlier, I want my shape to come from outside and to come from maybe outside this container here, like outside, then stay on this, like just stay here to just get to this position here. Now, what I was supposed to do is that, like, I was supposed to come to the starting point, because that starting point is supposed to be outside. Do you understand? That starting point is supposed to be outside. Then I will not do that, like just like the way I did for the test. Then move it inside and it gets here. But what I'll do is that I'll make my starting point to be from here. That is where I want my shape to get to. So that's position. You know, we couldn't work on position when it was a shape. Now it's in form of a raster image. After rasterizing it, I'm trying to like jog back our memory into it. So this is raster position. I can just come here, just come here, then drag my this thing out, uh, out. See, we have position works for raster image. Raster image can be in form of pictures too, like normal pictures. But once it's shape on Photoshop, position might not work. Remember I said we have vector image, we have raster image, and we have smart object on Photoshop. We'll still get to smart objects. So please pay attention. We are getting deeper. We are diving deep. Now let me play. If I'm to play, my shape comes in. Can you see? No, sorry, it's keeping like this, bro. Can you see? Now, do you understand? Now, let's now say I want my shape to come in, and I want a text to show. Once my shape gets in, I want a text to slide into the shape too as well. Now, I'll just come here. Solomon, what's up? Alright, fine. Let me take it again. Let me take it again. My shape is here on the screen. That is where I want my if in the case I want to create a transition for my shape, that is where I want my shape to get to. Do you understand? Normally, the way I did for test, let me just reduce my screen. Normally, if I want to do it, like I'm supposed to just bring my shape outside like this. Let's say bring my shape outside to where you can't see it. Then I'll start maybe position, and I'll start move to where I want to get it and I'll start dragging it. But no, this one is much more easier. So it's much more easier when you already have your shape where you want it to be. So just pay attention. Now, this is, so in case I play my video, my keyframe is going to, once my keyframe gets to this point, normally my shape was supposed to start from here, as you can see. Let's say from here. As you can see, like my keyframe was supposed to start from here, as you can see. But then, I don't want to have maybe issue with maybe positioning or it's falling apart or something. So I want my shape to be here once it gets to the screen. So what I'll do is just that I'll come to this, let's say just 0.5 seconds here. Second rather, 0.2 second. English, sorry. So I'll enable my keyframe animation here. That is where I want my shape to get to here. Click on this one. Hmm? Then I'll come to where my shape was supposed to start, meaning that once my shape gets here, my shape, my shape was supposed to be, sorry, I stammer most times, sorry, just understand. My shape was supposed to be outside if my keyframe is here. Just like calculation. If my keyframe is here, my shape was supposed to be outside. Once my keyframe gets here, I'm expecting my shape to be inside. Do you understand? So I'm now starting my keyframe when my shape is inside. So I'll now come here, then take my shape outside to where it's supposed to be. Do you understand? Now this is the keyframe now. Now my keyframe is outside. Even if you want to do it, you can type your text outside here. Then put your timeline stick here. Then drag your keyframe. You realize that if I come here, you see the movement. Shall you see? Do you see the movement? So once it's at this point, my keyframes. Now, do you understand, Solomon? I'm waiting. Now, if I'm to play, let me just play. Like play. Then my keyframe moves. Come on, baby, move. Screen down. So my keyframe moves from outside into the screen. Do you understand? Do you not get it, Solomon? Please respond so I can proceed. And let's say I now want to do something in the sense that I want my shape to come in, then a text coming into the shape once the shape gets into the picture. Now this is where I want my text to start. Do you see here? Like once my shape gets here, I want the text to come into the shape. And just come to text here. So this is text. Text. So I'm going to write Solomon because Solomon is asking questions and he wants to know how the shape works out. So I'm going to use Solomon. Solomon. Once I'm done typing, I can submit my transformation here. And realize that following the rules of contrast and design, we can't have. If you are getting this, let me know, please. So please pay attention. If you have any question, just ask. So my stem is in like this. Ooh la la. Alright, so I'm trying to get something done. Alright, fine. So I have my, let me just change this color. I can't have this color white on this color. It's looks weird. So let me try to use maybe color black or something. Solomon, please respond if you understand. So let's say I have black. And just select color black here. And okay. Okay. Alright. You can see that this is where the shape starts from, but my text is not showing here because I'm setting up my text to be here. I can as well just drag my text from here and make my text show at the beginning if I want it to. You know, it's black, so it can't show on color black. But I want my text to be here. That is after revealing my shape, so I'll just drag the text to start from here. Can you see? Start from here. Now, I said something about clipping mask yesterday when we were talking. Solomon, you are back. Do you understand? I won't go. I'm not be able to go back. Alright, thank you. Now, We said something about clipping mask yesterday when we were talking about. So on the video that I sent to you, I made mention of clipping mask. How you can input, let's say, a text or something on a picture. So now let's even say this our background now is white. This our background is white. Can you see this color overlay that I did earlier for the background? I'm changing our background to white. To white. So no, the text is black. I'm trying to show you something. Now I want this text to come in from nowhere. Are you with me? I want this text to come in from nowhere after revealing this shape. So what I'll do is just that. Come on, man. So what I'll do is that this is where I want my text to this is where sorry this is where I want my text to get to immediately after coming in, like I did for the text effect. So I'll just click on transform here, transform. Then this is where I want my text to start from. I want my text to come from under here. You see? Let's say to come from below. No, it's not moving, but it should move. That's so stubborn. Now we have light. So I want my text to come in from below, as you can see here. Now if I'm to play, can you see? If I'm to play, my text will come like, let's say from here to if I'm to play, my text will come from there to. Do you understand? If you understand, please just reply on the group chat, please. I'm waiting. Please, there's one on the group chat if you understand. Please, I'm waiting. Don't just expect the video. If you don't understand, respond here too, so I can make it clear. And then when I watch the video, you start flashing back to what I was trying to explain to you and how you got it right. Just like I did for the transformation effect. This is my test. I'm trying to delete the key anymore. Itunu, Toiba, Mariam, Hilary. Am I getting your name correctly? I'm a local boy, please. Michael, Mr. Michael, Mr. Diwali Michael. We did something on test effect. Okay, can you understand? Do you understand? Okay, I know Wala, Hilary. Anyhow, so we did something on test effects earlier about test animation. How test moving. I barely understand, but I will disturb you later. How test comes in and how test move out and all those stuff like that. We did something like that earlier. Now after this training, you can actually check on some motion graphics. Then just try this thing. Like if a test is coming in, what you have to do is just that. I could have just dropped my test here to serve as the starting point. Why is this not moving? Let me just do this thing. Like I can drop my test here. Sorry, I'm trying to use my keyboard to move this thing. To serve as the starting point. And this is where my test starts. You can see now, this is the key, the timeline, this is the background, this is the rectangle. This thing shows that there's an effect on it. And the effect we have is for position. That means that it's moving in from outside into the background. So when it moves in, I want my text to show inside the shape. Now this is the starting point here. Now if this is the starting point, it means that my text is coming from here into the shape. So that means I have to create a transformation keyframe here. Then let's say 0.5 seconds like this one. Then I have to move my text from here into the shape. I don't know why this thing is not moving and it's breaking my heart, but I have to do something about it. Oh god. Just do what I have to do. So oh, I'm not remember. So just that I'm trying to like my text start from here. Once this thing gets into the background, the shape, I mean, my text will show itself, then slide into. Can you see? Do you understand now? It's what I'm trying to explain. But what I'm trying to like achieve now is that I don't want my text to even show at all on this white background. Like I want my text to like come into the shape from nowhere. No one is going to see where it comes from. It's just going to slide into the shape. Now we said something about clip masking on the video that I sent to the group. That is how you can input a layer into another layer. Are you with me? How you can put a layer into. You realize that initially this is where my text start from. Start from here. Like after this one, can you see like it's just how this thing works? My text starts